Good morning, everybody. 8:10 a.m., July 12th. Yesterday, big drop yesterday. Big drop, especially in the Nasdaq, especially in tech, especially in the Mag 7. Rotation day. Okay. SPY wasn't as weak because financials, healthcare, industrials, energy got love. Okay. But tech finally took a beating. And I talked about this yesterday in detail about we already went up so much, then got positive news from CPI, right? And I was like, can we really go higher? We went so high so far. And I said, if we break this certain range and with the poor structure we had the day before, this is a scenario to really sell off. And we did. We did. I took advantage of it on SPY. I'm going to be making a video about it. I actually, if you look at a chart, I can show you here in a second here. Let me see here. Really quickly, I'll just show you guys. I think this is it. Yeah. If I show you guys right here, this is a 15-minute chart. That's okay though. At 562, big call wall. When I saw this happening and see the Nasdaq over here, the Qs was falling. The Qs were like almost here. That's a telltale sign that's going to take the market down. So I was looking at 562, and I mean, my finger was on the mouse, like going to click to short 562 with a stop above the high. And then I literally went to click it, and the market just went boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh my God, my Lord. So then I said, you know what? I'm not going to chase this. Still part of my plan was to see if the market would accept prices, and you had to be quick. So I was like, all right, here was the pullback right here. It was right here. And when we kind of held the 560s, I shorted and rode it all the way down to here. So great trade still. It was like a 235% return. However, boy, would I have loved to have that 562 short. But trading's not perfect. And I'm not going to lie. In the past, not getting this, catching this short would have mentally got to me. It would have mentally got to me. And I would have been like, oh God, now I'm not going to, this went without me. But the poor structure was still not taken out by the Nasdaq. See when this candle happened? See how it came down right to here? Notice this little consolidation here before single prints were here. This is very poor structure right here. So once we came down right here, we whipped up, we pulled back. That's where I was like, okay, here we go. And then look what happens, wham. And then you kind of consolidated right here and then took out those weak structure and went right down to this major gamma level, and the flip point 556 happened to be support. So that's why I was like, I could have rode it down to 556. I got stopped out around here. So awesome trade. Just thought I'd share that with you, that because that's a lot of growth for myself to not be that upset that I missed the initial trade, and then I'm still able to get a nice move from 560 to 557. Obviously would have loved to get the 562. The real trade was the Qs, but the Qs went down so quick that that didn't really consolidate much. So anyway, thought I'd lead off with that today. All right. Now, a lot of stuff going on in the markets. We got PPI that's coming out today. I don't know how much that's going to affect the market. It's actually expected to rise. So we'll have to see about that. All right. But without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile and market profile to find structure in the market. And when you talk about structure, I was talking about it yesterday in my live stream, how poor that structure was. That's all I talked about, right? And it came to fruition. That's how what gives me confidence, right? To go short at 560. I normally don't like shorting when it's not like at the top of a range, but this was kind of like only pulling back, and that's the only reason I had confidence. That's not the only reason with tech moving down. So it's my baby, market profile and volume profile. I'm gonna make a short about it. Problem with shorts is they're a minute long, and I have a lot of things I look at, so I'm gonna hopefully do that justice. All right, now I use gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, most trade price of the year, the month, the week. Okay, all these things help me. Okay, and a lot of those things automatically show on my chart. Not supply and demand. I do them myself, but single prints, that stuff all comes up on my charts automatically. So that's why I talk about it so much, and that's why I do my game plans on it. All right. So hopefully, I do this every day at 8, 10 a.m. You guys can join me, right? You guys can join me. You can subscribe, set an alert. All right. Go wait to the end if you want. Show me some love. Give me a like, thumbs up. You can do it at the end if you want. All right. As always, you can follow me on X at Gonzo719. Again, I gotta still create those other logos. All right. So why don't we get right into this and look at the futures watch list. Now, things will may change a little bit. I mean, I don't know how much PPI is going to affect the market today. All right, so let's look at the futures here, watch list here, and let's see what's going on this morning. Now we're really talking about a rate cut coming. So crude's liking that. All right, crude's up 1%. You know who really liked yesterday? I think it was the biggest move in the Russell since 2021, something like that. The Russell. Why? I talked about this yesterday too. Russell was coiling, and the yields went down significantly yesterday after those numbers. Okay. The Dow's up 0.13. The ES is flat. 10-year yield hasn't reported. Nasdaq's down 0.09. Bitcoin down 0.10. The dollar's down 0.16. 30-year bonds being sold, so the 10-year yield should rise a tiny bit. But let's see what PPI does. Gold down 0.54. Gold had a nice rise yesterday. Ether's down 1.12. VIX is down 1.86%. Silver down 2.21%. That little friggin' silver is volatile metal, boy. That thing just moves around. All right. Why don't we get into the Mag 7 Plus? Boom. All right, we got Coinbase. Coinbase pulled back all the way to about 214 something yesterday. So up 0.41. Nvidia's up 0.41. Netflix up 0.38. Apple, Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, nothing's up too much because it is PPI possibly, and we just took a huge move down yesterday. All right, AMD's down. Meta's down 1.61%. Tesla's down 2.1%. What a fall. It went up to 270 yesterday, and it's down to 235. All right, possibly that robo-taxi delay. Snow's down 3.81%. Snow is down to 3.81%. All right, moving on. Top sectors. Now, there was a rotation yesterday. Okay, there was a rotation. Financials got love, healthcare got love, industrials got love, energy, real estate, utilities got love too. Now, why is that, right? Because utilities are rate sensitive, right? When the interest rates, the yields are high, people look for the dividends and stuff like that from utilities, the safe plays. And when they're high, people tend to sell those and might buy treasuries, right? But the yields came down and inflation is trending lower. Now, this is disinflation, not deflation. So prices are still high. Disinflation is not, you're not going to see prices get lowered. Okay? So when they tout inflation's coming down, it's not coming down. It's just the rate. The speed of the rising of inflation is slowing, not prices. So that's a very important distinction. Now, this morning, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citibank reported earnings. Okay. Goldman Sachs is up 0.70. CAT up 0.46. Costco's up 0.40. All right. We got Chevron, Exxon, Walmart. All right. Now, PepsiCo, very important yesterday, didn't have the best earnings. They said that the Customers are looking to save money. And this thing was down, but people bought it up. Why? It's part of a staple. Okay. Johnson & Johnson got love yesterday. United Healthcare, UPS, been hitting the support for a while. McDonald's. All right. So who's the laggard today? Uber. Uber, a little bit of a laggard. All right. Now, let's go to my swing trade list. Let's see who's getting love this morning. Lucid up 3.53. Citibank up 2.72. Donald Trump stock 2.31. RXRX up 2.21. Alcoa's up 2.09. WWW, believe it's Wayfair, up 1.9. AstraZeneca up 1.3. Roblox up 1.77. BK, I think that's BK. Bank I don't remember what that is for some reason. Affirm on a lot of love here. Affirm, SoFi, Unity Software, Enphase, Reddit, Block, Carvana. Carvana got an upgrade. I think that's Therapeutic, Crisp, I believe. Vikings Therapeutics, Chewy. So those are all getting love. Let's see who's not getting love. Palantir's down 1%. Gold miners, junior miners had a big rise yesterday. Supermicro Computers actually got a downgrade. MicroStrategies is going to do a split, 10-1 coming up. Okay, that's really all the laggard there. Moving on to sectors. All right, now I said we got big news coming in 9 minutes. Then you got Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Now let's look at this. Real estate. Industrials leading the pack. Utilities. See, if those rates come down, people are going to flood to utilities. Okay. Let's see. Energy, semis, staples. Everything's kind of positive except communications because that is meta. Okay. That is meta. All right. Now, why don't we get into the news? An economic calendar here. All right, what do we got today? PPI. Let's make this like this. All right, we got core PPI expecting a 0.2 rise. Okay, so the core PPI year over year is expecting a 0.2 rise. Okay, and then we have headline PPI expecting a rise of 0.1. So we're looking for the numbers to be hotter. Remember, CPI was softer. Okay, now at 10 a.m. you got a bunch of Michigan consumer sentiment. Yeah, I don't really love trading around these things. They tend to, if you're just in a trade, it just can blow you right out of your stop. I tend to let the noise die down a little before I even try to trade around that, unless I find something unbelievable. Maybe 5 minutes into the market, 10 minutes into the market, maybe I say, okay, take some profit and have a really, really tight stop on it. That's about the only reason that I would do that. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Now, news-wise, let's see here. I'm really not seeing much here. Let me see. They might have updated something so we can look at it. Yeah, Tesla got a downgrade and that robo taxi. Yeah, not really loving anything there. We can look at upgrades and downgrades. Why don't we just do that? Upgrades, Booking Holdings got an upgrade. Downgrades. Tesla got a downgrade. See, it's from a neutral, whoa, to a sell. Jesus. Neutral to sell from UBS. Jeez. I mean, they raised the price target, but they just changed it to a sell. That's pretty interesting. Let's look at price target changes. Let's see target raises. Tesla got a target raise, 182.30. T-Row got a raise, 120 to 121. Block got a raise from 90 to 98. Rivian got a $111 to $15 raise. Nvidia 135 to 170. Microsoft 465 to 500. I got a lot of target raises here. Let's see here. Costco Monster got a raise to 925. Who else here? All right, let's look at target lowered now. Let's see here. Workday target lowered. Oh, I don't like that. Viva got its target lowered. I'm a little owner of Viva, but it's okay. It's overweight. So Snowflake, there you go. Snowflake. That's why it's down 3%. Snowflake got a price target lowered to 165 from 240. Starbucks 104 to 98. Let's see here. See Delta Airlines from 66 to 62. Adobe 700 to 635. All right. Now let's see initiation. Spotify initiated outperform. Target price 390. Interesting. Warner Music Group outperform. Target 37. Carvana as a buy. Target price 155. That's what's going on with those. All right, that's what's going on. Now we can look at the juice real quick. JP Morgan CFO, the economy seems to be on trend for a soft landing. Okay. We got news coming, what, 3 minutes now? All right. Just trying to see if anything really in JP Morgan's earnings, Wells Fargo's earnings. What did I want to show you guys? One thing I wanted to show you right before this opens. We look at this. All right. This is just 1 week performance. All right. Look at healthcare. So see some of these sectors like real estate really got love. Utilities, see what I was talking about? Look at, I'm a proud owner of Nextera. Look at that, 4% so far this week. See what I mean? What else got love? Here's some staples. Procter & Gamble, Walmart. Now PepsiCo, even with those bad earnings, still up. Now 1 week is Apple. Remember, the week just started. I mean, the week's not over yet. A week would be a week ago. So, it wouldn't just conclude this Monday through Friday. So, yeah, Visa and MasterCard got pretty beat up. All right. All right. Let's go back to here. We got that news dropping in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay. I just want to see if there's anything else that I could show you guys. I mean, right now, what we could do while that news digests, we can look at the Fed watch tool, which has definitely changed. Now, check this out. For the next July 31st meeting, we're still at a 93% no change, but for September, look at that. Almost 90% pricing in a cut of a quarter point basis lowered. That changed. Okay, that definitely changed. Let's look at November. Almost a full point from where we are now. December, look at that. So we're expecting some rate cuts, maybe 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring you to the hourly chart on the ES. Wait for this news to drop, see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Oh boy. Initial reaction is down. Initial reaction is down. Why don't we look at it? What's going on here? Boom. Let's see what we have. All right. So core PPI. Oh man, that's not good. Wait a minute. Wow. Am I seeing this right? We were expecting 2.5. It's 3. 3.0. Wow, that's really crazy. All right, so core came in zero point 0.5 higher. That's why the initial move was down. Now let's see the headline number. We're expecting 2.3, got 2.6. Wow. This is like very opposite from CPI. CPI was softer. This is hotter than expected. This is core is really wow. Now the initial move is down. Got a wick there. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Hmm. Okay, so this is very interesting. Really interesting. Now, I want to show you something. Look at the 10-year yield now. It's up 1%. See that? See this dollar? It's like flat. Gold should be going down. Yep, see gold's down almost 1%. Wow. This is like a conflict. It's conflicting yesterday's data, right? Even though they expected it to be hot, not this hot. Wow. 10-year yield jumped up, right? So that almost goes to, let's look at the Fed Watch tool. Why don't we look at the Fed Watch tool again? Let's see if that's changed. That might have just changed. 89% now. Let's see, July. Has it changed? Let's refresh. Maybe. Not really changed yet. Wow. Very interesting numbers. Now, right now, it's turning out to be a nothing burger because right here was the opening of this candle at 8 a.m. and we're right back into this range. Could be a nothing burger. That's what it's looking like right now. What it did though is break these demand zones, so I'm going to get rid of this. And it dipped into this demand, so it got bought up. Interesting. Right now, I mean, it's a nothing burger. That's pretty good buying excess right here. I don't know if that's going to show. I mean, I don't know. It's very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Why don't we look at daily chart? There's not much to analyze there, but we're going to do it. Part of the process, right? So, why don't we do that? Hold on a second here. Oop. Bring up SPY. All right. All right. Let's look at SPY together. As that nothing burger really happens here. Then we can come up with a plan. Okay, so SPY, what did we do? You got a bearish engulfing candle yesterday, right? You kind of hit in the back side of this channel here. And where did we come to? 555.05 was last week's highs, right? So overall, we just took out this candle. We took out the previous day's candle, okay? Is it all out bear? No. Nope. Remember, the S&P wasn't just all weak yesterday. But the market cap weight, the Mag 7 was down, so that's going to move the market down. That's how the market works, okay? So that's interesting, right? So where are we at now? 556. We're at 557 basically. We're about right here. We're at the lows, okay? We're at the lows. All right, let's step back a little bit. We can really see this here. Okay. Now, so we just came back to this consolidation. Not very bearish. All right, Nasdaq's a different story. Why don't we look at the futures? Okay, so look. Here's the futures. See, we're holding last week's highs. Right? Little doji. That's it. We just nipped the 9 EMA daily. Okay? That's what's going on there. That's what's going on there. Now let's look at the Qs. Different story. Okay? A different story. So, this took out 1, 2, 3, 4 days of buying. Now that is a bearish engulfing candle. That is some serious rotation out of those stocks. Now, can this be almost a nothing burger? Maybe yes. Okay, let me explain. Let's say people took profits. Okay, what do we have coming up? Earnings. What do you think's going to happen if Apple, Microsoft, they all beat earnings? Think they're going to just go down? July is typically bullish seasonally. Okay. We have to see. All right, we hit the 90 EMA daily. All right, like I said, took out 4 days of buying. Okay, you're underneath last week's highs. All right, let's look at the futures. Oh, where are we at now? 492, say 30. 492.30, 492.30. We're by the lows of yesterday. Okay, let's look at futures. Futures. Okay, this is futures. These whites are previous month's highs. So you're holding the previous month's high. That's why I love my express chart. Okay, I can see monthlies, weeklies. Okay, that's last month's highs. That's holding up Qs. Okay, so look, in futures, you got support, support, support. I'm not saying you just go all out bullish. I'm just saying that's why this level's holding. There's always a why. Okay, my methodology in reading the market and my personality is always figuring out why. Why? Like if you don't have these monthly levels on your chart, yes, you can see support, but it makes it even stronger that I know it's last month's highs. Oh, that's why. It's last month's highs. Right? I like in my head I need to know why. Not because I said it. This right here confirms, oh yeah, you're going to hold those monthly highs. Okay. That becomes a support that if we break it, whew, we could work ourselves down to here. Okay. But we're not. We're holding. Okay. Now, we're going to go over to our triple-headed monster now. And the PPI has still done nothing. So it's turning out to be a nothing burger. Let's go over this 10-year yield. All right, let's start with that. Triple-headed. Okay, look at that big yield drop yesterday. Wham! Right? Let's get rid of that. So we're still holding this support. Remember I said yesterday this could act as support? It did. Okay? But if that falls, woof, go all the way down to 4.03 yield. Okay? You're getting pushed up with PPI today, but look at this candle. Wham! We'll have to see, but rates are probably going to come down. Now, this is your triple-headed, so we got to go to the second head, all right, which is the dollar, and the dollar has been falling, right? Which means the euro is probably rising. Okay. So this big push down. See how far you came down? Right? Tested the support of 104 yesterday. That's interesting, right? Interesting. This is all baking in the rates getting cut. Okay, because typically this is bullish. Now, in the past, in history, whenever the Fed cuts, usually the usually the market doesn't act by buying and buying and buying. It usually actually sells. So we just have to see how this plays out. Now the VIX, what did this do yesterday? It rose up to 13, but that's not really big fear, okay? That's not really huge fear. We're not like at 15, 16 right now, even with that big move down. Now you'd probably have to look at the VIX. There's a VIX of the NASDAQ. I believe it's, what is it, VXN, I think it is. Yes. See the QQQ volatility right here? I think I got to do CGI. Look at that. Okay. I don't know if everybody knew about that, but VIX, the QQQ has its own VIX. See, that spiked. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. Even Apple has its own VIX. Amazon has its own VIX. All right. So, but still, overall, no fear. Okay. So that's really what's going on there. All right. That's your triple headed. Now, going to the main attraction, the main show, the main event. We got a market profile, a volume profile. Helped me make that trade yesterday. All right, I'm trying to impart this market profile and volume profile because I love it. I will never look at the market any other way. Don't get me wrong, I look at candlesticks, obviously. Okay, but let's go and check it out. Boom. And I'm going to make a video, all right? And I purposely left the single print boxes here, up here, to show you why we moved down so violently yesterday. All right. Now, this is our market profile and volume profile. Before I get into that, what we always do is look at that rolling profile. Now, I also mentioned this as well yesterday. I said, if the market cannot pull value higher, value returns to price. You can look at the video yesterday. I said most trader price at the time, it was down to like 56.32 right here. And I said, guys, we're up here. This needs to move up here. If you can't move value up to here, price returns to value. Look where the market came. I didn't move this level on purpose. Look where the market hit a low. Right at the most trader price of the week. Why do I put these on my charts? I wonder why. Right there was the low. It went right back to value. It couldn't. Price could not pull value up with it. So what did it do? Went right back. That's why I talk about this stuff. It's not like it's great, man. I'm telling you. I said it's like a rubber band. It's like stretch, boom, come right back. Okay? That's that. Now, what else did I talk about yesterday? I said, look at this wick up in CPI. If it takes out the overnight lows, I said I want to see what it does. And when it did, it kind of went like this. Then it pulled back right here and started doing this. Okay? That's where I said there's still poor structure underneath here. And then I said I'm going to short it. Remember, I use ES to gauge certain things like single prints. And so that's where I shorted here and rode that puppy. Woo! Rode it. Right? Why? Poor structure. I was touting that structure, how poor this was yesterday. Look at that most trader price. It was all the way down here. That's what gave me the confidence, right? If I didn't know that there were single prints, if I didn't know that, I'm probably not going to chase the short. I didn't chase it. I waited for a pullback. Okay, so now what do? They got clean, but guess what we have, folks? Let's open it up. Okay, we have new single prints, so I have to put them on the chart. So we got single prints from right there. It's almost exactly the same. It's not even surprising because there's an emotional selling where there was emotional buying, right? It got replaced. So boom, what's all I do is I move these down to the new single prints. So that's the emotional selling now. Okay? Which makes sense. Which makes sense. Okay? So let's put this back. Okay. Now look, price is right here. So where are we at? In value area. Okay. Most traded price still here. Actually, it did move. So let me do that real quick. I'll show you guys what I do. So this is the real-time trading hours. This is not the overnight. So you're just going to see the RTH session. So what do? I take this box. I push it right up to the most traded price of the week. That's where it is now. 56.42. Now this is still a high volume node right here, 56.32. So I still keep my mind on that. Okay. So now I push back to the 24-hour chart basically, and now my most traded price is up here, but I know right here is also important. Okay. So hopefully you guys, now this is just garbage. We're right. We're right inside the most traded price of the week. It's just not a good place to be. It's just not. Okay. It's not a good place. So what are we going to look at today? All right. What are we going to look at? We're in value area of the last week. We're back in balanced. Balance where we broke out of, right? So this is the PPI drop, that wick. And then we're right here. Not the greatest. We're holding the lower prices of yesterday, so that is bearish. Okay, that is bearish. So what are we going to look at? Here's yesterday's highs. Here's yesterday's lows. Here's the overnight low with the PPI. Here's the overnight high. But we're right here at yesterday's close. Most traded price of the week. Not a good place to be. Okay, now, what do you have to look at now? Where are some inflection points we have to look at? 560, 5,663, 5663. That is the Fibonacci. That's the 50%. In futures, we call it midpoint. But that's the 50% move of yesterday's sell-off. So that's a point where sellers would have to defend. Okay? Sellers would have to defend. Now, we don't have the best structure on the way down here. See this very thin volume? Okay? So, just like this was poor structure on the sell-off, which makes sense. Okay? That's all makes sense. But now, if we start to get up and the market really picks up, we can clear all this weak structure out. Okay? But the mentality might have changed now of the market. Mag 7 pulled back. We'll see. We'll have to see. Okay? Let me see here if we got any good levels here. We do. All right, we do. So we have our most traded price of the week and yesterday's right here. What else do we have here? We have overnight highs. And actually have the week-to-day view up right there. Okay, so sellers need to defend that area. Now I'm going to say this area, let's extend it out with these single prints. This area needs to be defended by sellers. Okay. Now, single prints. In this case, we're emotional selling. And here we go. If the market strengthens up today, you should cut through them like a hot knife through butter. But what if you don't? What if you get resistance in here? Well, that's bearish. That is very bearish. Okay, then you're going to have to contend with the most traded price, and let's see if we can break and go lower. Here's your month to date VWAP right here, 5605. So what does that mean when I say the month to date VWAP? That means buyers are in control still for the month. Okay, buyers are in control still. So if you every long is still in profit. The average long is in profit. Very important to realize that. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what we're going to look at here. All right. Let's get into some scenarios. Now, a big move like that, I got to give you another tip, a little tip. Whenever you have big move, like whoop, open up, wham, all the way back to balance, right? Could we just do this today? Yep. You could just rotate today. Take a breather. You could just take a little breather today. You ran a lot of miles, you need to take a breather. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but it generally sometimes does. Okay? So, let's talk about scenarios. Hopefully I'm not being too long-winded. I just want to be detailed in what I'm telling everybody, okay? All right. Let's switch over to the bullish side. Bullish side. Okay? We have demands down here. We have our month-to-date VWAP down here. That's a lot of demand. It's a lot of demand. Okay, so we just got buyers right here. So buyers basically said, you're not going any lower right now. We bought it up. Whoop. People took profit from the short of the PPI. So I'm going to look at this area. Bulls need to defend it. It's a pretty big area, but bulls need to defend this. Okay. That starts around 50, what do we do? 56.26 about. Okay. Overnight lows right there, 56.21. I want to see the market, what it does in this area. Okay. So I could see us going like this, coming back through here, and then this could be a bear trap. See what it does in this area. Does it hit month-to-date VWAP and go whoop? I mean, it might even bounce and just stay here, but I just want to see what happens here, right? That's one. Two, here's the other part. Okay, number two. What if price, which is over right now, this is very important, here's our week high. If price starts to hold above the most traded price and it starts to accept over that price, well, you have single prints which should not act as resistance. Yeah, you could rip up, test that 50%, 5566, 5663, and it would be crazy, but if you could, this is not a lot of volume here, you could rip right back up to here, the supply zone, and clean those singles. That would be crazy, but I don't know. This market's pretty nuts, okay? That's what I'm looking at. All right, let's look at the shorts. All right, now what did I say? Here's the short defense. We're from 56.63, right, to the overnight highs, single prints. Okay, that's ugly box. Right here. Okay. Sellers, you got to step up here. You got to step up. Okay, so we could, just like I said, hold, push up into here. Now, remember, this is a bearish case. If you don't clean those singles and you do one of these, whoop, and you do lower highs like this, you're going to test yesterday's most traded price and the most traded price. Okay. And then if you do that, look at this single. These are basically single prints. You're going to go break yesterday's lows, 56.30, and you're going to test the overnight lows here into this demand. And if people get more nervous, okay, you're going to test that week to date, month to date VWAP 56.05 and probably bounce up. That's what I'm looking for. Now, another thing would be, what if price does this and you don't do anything up here, but then you just hold under that big level? Well, you could also do that. Okay? Because anything above this, am I really going to short that? Like, I mean, if the price is up here, not really. But with this 50% retracement, people will probably act there. So I'd really have to see like lower highs put in. Okay. Okay. Now it all depends when the market opens what we do. All depends. Okay. I know I'm getting long-winded here, very long-winded, and I apologize for that. All right, we're gonna get right into the Nasdaq. I won't go into as much detail here because if it's very similar, right? All right, let's look at this together. I'm gonna do this quicker so I get you guys out of here. All right, so prices here. All right, we're holding lower prices. That is bearish. Let's look at the profile. It's a different profile. Okay, it's a different profile. It fell a lot more. Now this is weaker. Okay, this is the most traded price of the week. Price is here. That is very bearish. That is very bearish. The ES is holding above it right now, the most traded price. So it's a different market. Okay, we are not in value area. Here's value area. We're below it. Okay, we created single prints too yesterday. So new single prints have formed. So I'm going to open up and show you guys what exactly those boxes look like. Here we go. There's a box. So I'm going to move this one. Got a little patch right there. We got a bigger patch right here. And then we're going to fix this one. This is all I do. And the only reason I do this is to see that this plugin shows me singles, but it doesn't show me it from, if it's days or weeks goes later, like they still stay there. That's why I have them there. Okay. So now we got a single prints up there. And let's look at this together. Okay. So, I got to get rid of this demand. It broke that demand. Okay. All right. So, same thing here. Okay. Most traded price of yesterday and the overnight high is a week high. That is 204.67. Now, notice, this is very important. The month-to-date VWAP is right there, and price is right on it. That means buyers right now are slightly still in control of this month for the Qs. Isn't that crazy? All right, so sellers needed to now check this out. The 50% of yesterday also aligns with the most traded price of the week. Okay, so sellers need to step up right in here, right in that area. Price is here. Okay, that's a week high. If we break that, hold, we could possibly go right back up to the most traded price of the week. All right. So let's look at this together. We'll do scenarios. Make it quicker today. Let's do it. Okay. Let's go with the bullish case first. All right, bulls. What do you need to do? There's not actually clear, clean, super clear, clean levels today. So what I'm going to say is yet from yesterday's lows all the way to this demand really is what I want to see it happens here. And you got month-to-date VWAPs right here, and it's holding it. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. What I'm looking at this chart now, if we push down to here, I'm probably only going to see what it does into this demand here. And I'm not crazy about longing in here, because if it moves down here, that means the market's weak, the tech's weak. But it could happen, right? And you could move back up to here. So I'm actually not the fan of that scenario. Now, what I would be a fan of is this week high. That's the overnight high, okay? And yesterday's most traded price. Okay, so when you think about yesterday's most traded price, what do you think those people were, short or long? Short. So what I would want to see is the market push up, pull back, hold this level. That would give me a shot at these single prints to go back to value. That's what I like. If these Mag 7s turn up and start to get bought, that is a very likely scenario. Now, if you do this and hold this, my lord, if it did that, wow, that would be wow. But this is what I'm looking for. That's it for the bull. All right, now bear. Sellers. Now, in this case, it's a different story. Sellers need to just defend this first and this. That's horrible. Okay, so if the market pushes up but can't accept prices above this area and starts to go back, falls under the month to day VWAP at 24.40, and you do this, now you also cleared a gap. So there's a gap, how I show gaps. We filled that gap yesterday, so I can get rid of that. All right, so this would propel a move. This is old single prints from the past. And we probably go like this and test this naked VPOC from the past. Okay. Secondly, okay, because the most traded price of the week's up here in single prints, if we come into here and you can't take out those single prints, we could fall back. If we go up into the most traded price, try to move above it, come back under it, lower high, this could also bring us back down here. So the Nasdaq's different now because it's so much weaker. All right, so that is it today. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I know I was long-winded. I apologize for that. I just hope the details help anybody. And of course, give me questions. I'm telling you. I guess I'm doing my job if nobody's got questions. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed that and subscribe. Come on, set an alert. This is a little longer winded than I normally do. Usually they're 30 minutes. Okay. All right. Also, give me a like if you like my content. All right. You can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay. Now, got our plans. All right. Now, today is Friday. All right. End of the week. And I don't know. Oh, you know what? Let's check one thing. I don't know the relative volume this morning. There it is. All right, I'll show you guys that. We are at 112% in the ES and 114% in the Nasdaq. That's good volume. That is good volume. I like to see that. All right, so hopefully we get some good volatility this morning. And it might be, like I said, it might be a rest day where we go in a range. I don't know what's going to happen, okay, until that market opens. But we have our plan. And, afternoon or something like that, if I don't like price action, I'm done. Having a good weekend. All right, so everybody do the same. Have a good weekend. Stay patient. Stay green. And I'll see everybody back on Monday.